Hey, thanks for sticking around during the break. My name is Kevin Fear. This is Pillow Talk, a show about sleep. If you're just joining us, if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. If you're coming back, I hope you find this show informative and helpful. We talk about ways for you to get a better night's sleep. We explain what effects sleep have on your body. We talk about different types of mattresses, sheets, mattress covers, adjustable bases, pillows, etc. If you have a topic you want me to cover, email me at pillowtalkquestion@gmail.com. I read an article, or I saw a picture in this news article where if you have a self-driving car, I have a car where you can let go of the steering wheel for like 30 seconds and it drives itself, but it wants to sense that you're holding onto the steering wheel. But this guy was sleeping going down the highway while his car was driving. How dangerous is that? I think someday we may get to a point where you'll be able to get in your car and just put in an address and sit back and relax, and the car will drive you there. We're not quite there yet. That would be nice, wouldn't it? But yeah, this guy was sleeping. It might have been a Tesla. I'm not sure. But if you don't have a car that drives itself, I can tell you it's pretty nice. You say, why would you use that? Well, it's a dark, rainy night and you're tired. You can just, hit this button and sit back, and the car drives itself. And every 30 seconds, you just nudge the steering wheel. And you got to pay attention, because if it gets into a hard turn or something, it may shut itself off. I like it. Anyway, on the show, we do a lot of different things. Sometimes we go over articles that I find interesting. This article is healthline.com. It's called The Effects of Sleep Deprivation on Your Body. One of the facts that I find fascinating is the four pillars of health. One is you will suffocate the quickest if you don't have air, up to typically 5 minutes, and then you suffocate. Then it's thirst. I'm not sure the exact amount of time, but thirst, I think it's like 7 days you can go without water, then you die of dehydration. The next is sleep. And the fourth is starvation. Your body, after, I think it's 14 to 21 days, will go catatonic without sleep. Your body values sleep more than it values nutrition. Okay, so sleep deprivation is real. When I was a kid, I hate to admit it, but it was probably 30 years ago, I owned a bar in Oswego. I couldn't wait to get in the bar business. I couldn't wait to get out of it. But I ran a business in Watertown, New York. I lived in Syracuse. I ran a business in Watertown. On Friday nights, I would get out of work at 6 o'clock. In Watertown, I would drive to Oswego and work this bar till 2 in the morning and then drive home. And I remember one night driving home so exhausted that it was in the summer, and I started hearing weeds slapping against my car, and I opened my eyes and I was off of 481 into the weeds, and I was fighting. So I turned, must have been fall, because it was pretty cool out, because I rolled all the windows down and it was cold. And I turned the radio all the way up, and I would get to a red light and I'd hear a horn blow, and I would wake up, and it's awful. I don't know if you've ever been through that. You don't want to drive when you're like that. It's terrible. But this article, The Effects of Sleep Deprivation on Your Body. So if you're not getting a good night's sleep and your body's not rested, I guess this is what can happen. One is memory issues. During sleep, your brain forms connections that help you process and remember new information. A lack of sleep can negatively impact both short and long-term memory. That's interesting, right? Here's one that's kind of connected to that. Trouble with thinking and concentration. Your concentration, creativity, and problem-solving skills are not up to par when you don't get enough rest. Interesting. Article on healthline.com. The effects on your body of sleep deprivation. Mood changes. Yeah. You don't get a good night's sleep, you're a little grumpy, right? Sleep deprivation can make you moody, emotional, and quick-tempered. Chronic sleep deprivation can affect your mood and lead to anxiety or depression, which may escalate. Yep. Accidents. Being drowsy during the day can increase your risk for car accidents and injuries from other causes. Yeah, it affects the way you drive. I say it all the time. Here's a big one. Weakened immunity. Too little sleep weakens your immune system's defenses against viruses like those that can cause the common cold and flu. You're more likely to get sick when you're exposed to these germs. It's true. I tell you all the time that getting a good night's sleep affects your health in dramatic ways. Here's another one. High blood pressure. How many of us have that? I take blood pressure medicine. If you sleep less than 5 hours a night, your risk for high blood pressure increases. Risk for diabetes. A lack of sleep affects your body's release of insulin, a blood sugar lowering hormone. People who don't get enough sleep have higher blood sugar levels and increased risk for type 2 diabetes. You know, the crux of all this at the end is sleep is so important to your health. If you're watching me, by the way, you can go to mattressexpress.com and watch these shows as well as hear them on the radio. I have a purple demonstration piece of foam in my hand that I'm playing with in case you're wondering what's in my hand. I'm a fidgeter. I'm a tapper and a fidgeter. But sleep is so important to your health, and it affects you in so many ways you don't realize. That's why I go through these things. Here's another one that might get your attention. This is the article on healthline.com, the effects of sleep deprivation on your body. Next one is weight gain. Yeah. With sleep deprivation, the chemicals that signal to your brain that you are full or are off balance. As a result, you're more likely to overindulge when you've had enough to eat. Low sex drive. People who do not get enough sleep often have a lower libido. In men, this decreased sex drive may be due to a drop in testosterone levels. Yeah. So you got to get a good night's sleep. Poor balance. Lack of sleep can affect your balance and coordination, making you more prone to falls and other physical accidents. Risk of heart disease. Sleep deprivation may lead to increased blood pressure and higher levels of chemicals linked to inflammation, both of which play roles in heart disease. Getting a good night's sleep affects your health in so many ways you don't realize. You really. It goes on to say causes of sleep deprivation. It says, in a nutshell, sleep deprivation is caused by a constant lack of sleep or reduced quality of sleep. Getting less than 7 hours of sleep on a regular basis can eventually lead to health consequences that affect your entire body. They may also be caused by an underlying sleep disorder. Your body needs sleep. Like I said earlier, what it says in the article. Just as it needs air and food to function at its best, during sleep, your body heals itself and restores its chemical balance. Your brain forges new thought connections and helps memory retention. Without enough sleep, your brain and body won't function normally. It can also dramatically lower your quality of life. Noticeable signs of sleep deprivation include excessive sleepiness, frequent yawning, irritability, daytime fatigue. Stimulants such as caffeine are not enough to override your body's profound need for sleep. In fact, these can make sleep deprivation worse by making it harder to fall asleep at night. Interesting, right? Causes and effects of sleep deprivation on your body. I say it over and over. You probably get sick of hearing it, but sleep affects everything in your life. It really, really does. And if you're experiencing any of these things, if you're waking up in pain, if you're exhausted, obviously you should talk to your doctor about it, but you may need a new bed, and that's what I do. And if you come to Mattress Express, nobody that I'm aware of in New York State has all these brands under one roof that I have. I have Tempur-Pedic, Stearns & Foster, Sealy Hybrid, only the best, right? Purple, Puffy and Purple are big online brands. And, you know, some people might say they have Purple and have 2 or 3 or 4 mattresses. We have 7 different Purples on the floor, okay? 7 different Purples. How could you possibly buy it off a website when there's 7? You come to my store and try it, and then you know you'll like it, right? We've got the number beds. We've got Eclipse hotel quality bedding, excellent stuff. Been around for over 100 years. 15-year warranty, great beds. Stop in anytime to our stores. We're open 7 days a week, long hours, open till 9 p.m. every night, except Sunday, we're open to 8 p.m. No appointment necessary. We try to make it easy to pay. We have no credit check payment plans. If you've had some trouble in the past, if you have good credit, we have up to 5 years interest-free. You can go to mattressexpressny.com. You can reach me by emailing pillowtalkquestion@gmail.com. You can watch these shows at mattressexpressny.com. Or you can call my stores during normal business hours at 1-800-NEW-BEDS. We're coming up against the break. This is our final segment of the show. God willing, we'll be back at it next week. Thank you. If you're a returning person, I hope you find this useful. If this is your first show, I hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next week.